Former President Trump, who has suggested FBI agents might have planted evidence during the search at Mar-a-Lago, doesn't have to detail his complaints in court immediately. And the special master will have 2 weeks longer to review the documents under a federal judge's order. Joining us now to discuss, Distinguished University Professor at Touro College, Thane Rosenbaum. Thane, here's the thing. Let's make clear something. The order that the judge gave actually is good news for Mr. Trump. The order that the judge gave was that you do not have to detail your allegations that the FBI planted evidence. You do not have to make clear whether you classified or declassified these documents, even though the special master was asking for those things. So I wanted to get your take on whether that's a good thing, because special master is supposed to have special master powers, right? But it looks like this judge is just saying, yeah, I'll take that, I won't take that.
Well, you're quite right, Bob. In fact, she went even further. She said that President Trump does not have to specify the precise nature of the executive privilege that he's claiming. He can claim executive privilege without saying specifically what it is.
Okay.
The points that you made are added on to that. Why that's important. Remember, when the special master had his hearing, he said, put up or shut up, right? And that's a pretty strong statement, saying unless you have evidence showing what you're claiming, Mr. President, you can't make the argument. In this instance, the judge is basically saying to the special master, you shut up, saying you essentially work for me. I appointed you. Your job is simply, what you've ruled last week went beyond your authority. I was simply asking you to review the 11,000 documents, and you've issued rulings and hamstrung the former president in ways that I think are premature and overreaching.
Interesting. So could this go, the last time something like this happened, the DOJ went to the 11th Circuit, which essentially mostly supported the DOJ and that they could continue their criminal investigation related to this. Could they go to the 11th Circuit here, or is this just going to have to play out a little bit?
They could absolutely do that. But here's an important thing about it. I was on your show last week when this happened. This is a civil case, what we're talking about. The president brought this case to slow down the process, right, and to get some of his documents back. No criminal charges have yet been filed, right? So it might, this eventually could, if they are filed, this could go before a different federal judge. And that federal judge can issue his or her own rulings with regard to the scope of the evidence and how much of it. At this point, this was a very simple civil proceeding, basically saying to the government, give the president back his documents if they are subjected to a privilege of some kind, but it could certainly go to not only to the 11th Circuit again. All these issues can be reconfigured in front of a different federal judge in a criminal case.
Okay, final question. We saw reports that there were 4 previous presidents that had lots of documents, in some cases, millions of documents. And I'm going back to Bush 41, Clinton, Bush 43, Obama. And they worked it out, and they weren't charged, and they weren't, there was no, there was no warrant to go seize these documents. Now, was that because they were working better with the DOJ? Or was this politically motivated to go after Trump?
Bob, you're hitting the big point here. This is a point that I've raised on your show a number of times. The difference there is that they looked at this not through Trump derangement syndrome, but something else, and just said, wait a minute, the Presidential Records Act means that the documents ultimately belong to the people, but it contemplates a negotiation, as you pointed out, a friendly negotiation with the president and his team as to what documents he might be able to retain and which he can't. That's how Congress essentially mandated that this look. It never contemplated the idea that a house would get raided and documents seized. Now, the Democrats, Justice Department will say, well, because he took top secret documents or classified documents. It's not even, I'm not even sure it makes a difference.
I don't think it does, Thane. I don't think it makes a difference because what they're citing is something related to national security, which may or may not involve classified documents. I think that whole argument is moot.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think that what the difference is that you can't read the Espionage Act and these other criminal codes without also reading the Presidential Records Act. Why? Because the president who takes documents home that he helped create during his administration is not a thief, right? He's not a spy.
Okay.
Unless you have evidence of the president selling documents to a foreign entity.
Which we have seen no evidence of and no allegations of.
Right, and that's the main difference why I've always said that those other statutes don't really apply here. They apply to private citizens, the members of the press, the Rosenbergs, Jonathan Pollard, Edward Snowden, Julian Assange.
Fair enough. We got to run, Thane.
The President of the United States.
I appreciate you putting in perspective, Thane Rosenbaum. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Anytime, Bob.
Well, folks, tomorrow President Trump will be in Warren, Michigan, and Newsmax is going to have special coverage starting at 6 p.m. So don't miss it.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the
truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
Real news
For real people.